Hi, collective. How you doing? This is Miss V. Look, I want to share something with y'all real quick. You know why? Know the real reason why you have been asked to go within and deal with your dark side, or to deal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us went through the dark night of the soul. Okay. The reason why you're supposed to do this is because as you go within, okay, everybody knows when you close your eyes, it's black, right? So what happens is when you go within with your imagination and you go in and you pinpoint certain spots or areas, situations on your timeline, and then you're able to go back and heal some of those things that try to follow you or have followed you or stuck with you and have been a part of you in your adulthood, right? However old you are. And what happens is that they become you, right? So then becomes your personality, becomes, just change you from the original blueprint of who you are. All right. So it could be fear of certain things. Hell, when I was little, I'm gonna give you an example how petty this shit can be. When I was younger, I used to it's the building that I used to go take my kids to the doctor. And on the side of the building has these flowers. You know how flowers grow on the side of a building. But the way that they was patterned, it looked like something that wasn't of this world. So I call it like a pattern phobia or some kind of texture phobia. I've always had it all my life. If something is arranged in a certain pattern or it doesn't look normal, the geometrics or just the whole, it just looked weird to me. I cringe up. You get what I'm saying? So that was when I was young when I seen that, and I still had that until today, and I had to get over it by coming out of the 3D and thinking of myself as a more cosmic, more out of the body entity, right? And that when I was able to see things more of out of the geometrics and out of the ways that angles and stuff align here on the 3D, that when I go outside of this 3D earth, that things could look just totally different, right? So the reason why we deal with the dark night of the soul is so that one can go within and eliminate all those things that have been, just lingering in their spirit forever. Okay. And what happens is also too, I'm gonna give you some polarity about this. Like, say for instance, if they cut all the lights off. Okay, now we are adults. This reminds me of Monster University movie. Just say for instance, if they cut all the lights off, right? And that you had to get things done by before the sun went down, and because at nighttime you couldn't see outside, and candles will have to be used, lamps, going back to the old times, right? So I seen a vision of a lot of people not being able to handle the dark. And let me tell you why they can't handle the dark. Because they haven't healed. Okay? People do things to others that they wouldn't want done to themselves. And they know that there are repercussions. They believe in karma. They believe in all this type of stuff or whatever. Their intentions were totally wrong and lower vibration when they did the things, right? You also have childhood, like me, having childhood phobias or something like that. And then, through molestations, through a lot of well-known things that two people share within a conversation or a dynamic, that the other person knew that they was wrong, and 9 times out of 10 the person they done it to knew it was wrong, but the time passed. No one apologized, no one brought to the forefront so it can be taken care of. They just moved on, right? You find a lot of situations like that where people are too proud, the ego is too big to say I'm sorry. So you have a lot of people with all kind of betrayal, afflictions, dismay, whatever you want to call it, even murder, or even, just things that they did very low vibrational that they're not proud of. When the lights go off, a lot of people, if they're not healed within, the first thing they're going to think is they cannot trust people. More than important, they're not going to be able to trust themselves. 3, they're always going to think somebody is out to get them. Okay? Paranoia will set in. Anxiety will set in. These people are the first people to go off of the planet once after it get dark. If they don't realize that the small things that we go through, like dark nights of the soul, facing your fears, going within, healing childhood wounds, whatever it takes, fasting, and also, what is the other one? Fasting and just being nice and kind. You know what I'm saying? Treating your neighbor like you want to be treated. The reason why you are to do that is because once them lights go off and you have to be in the dark, someone who has healed, they're not paranoid because they know they haven't did anything to anyone. They have corrected their mistakes. They have asked for forgiveness. They have turned a new leaf. They have, you know what I'm saying, just went another way in life. That way it gives them peace. Peace in the darkness. This is why we need to go within. You get what I'm saying? People need to learn how to see in the dark. Okay? The only way you can see in the dark, if you take the time to go into the dark more than usual. You get what I'm saying? Just as equal as you're in the light to go in the dark. This light blinds us. This light keeps us from knowing the true way or journey is through the darkness. Okay? No one is going to complete any journey or anything in their lives without learning from it. Okay? You have to learn from the journey that you're on. And the best way to do that is to take time right now to practice. Fasting is when there's not, the food supply won't be as much. You already will be able to control the body, to discipline the body, so the body won't crave and long for things that are not available. Okay? That maybe you have to go a day or two without food or eating less, a lot less than what you are able to eat now. Okay? So these things help us practice for a time that is, maybe is to come. The time is always now, a little later. Okay? And I believe that a lot of people, regardless if they practice it, if they're aware of, you know what I'm saying, the whole supplication of now, what to do now, how to help yourself now, even if a lot of people are not going to fall in line and to be, you know what I'm saying, very cautious when it comes to the intuition, the spirits trying to tell us or trying to coach us. Regardless of the fact, when those times come, a lot of us who are grounded, who are prepared, will have to help them to come out of anxiety, to have to tell them, you know what I'm saying, that everything will be okay. Imagine telling another grown person who, in the light, they're everything. But at night, when the sun go down, this person turns to a 13 or a 3-year-old or something. You get what I'm saying? So that inner child will come back to you no matter what. Either you deal with it now, while you have all of the normalcy, what you see, you know, out here, whatever it may be. Taking the time to do that, because ain't nothing more important. I mean, you got your job, you got your kids, you got your... Come on now. You get what I'm saying? One has to focus. One has to be aware of self, regardless of the things that's happening on around you. That is the reason why you're here, to come back in. Okay? All of this stuff was supposed to force us back in, but we got comfortable and just stayed out. So it's better for us to, while we have the time, while we have the help, the knowledge, the you know, the teams or whatever you want to call it to help us. This is the time for us to practice, because when shit come to shake, when the lights go off, when the food is scarce, when you have unhealed people around you that trigger you, it's going to be too late then. Okay? It's even harder to make a decision then than it will be now, to already have a made up mind of what you're going to do if things should happen. Okay? Yes, it's one who does these things to themselves, period. Okay? It ain't nobody else doing nothing outside of you. What you hold inside of you house a spot for that affliction, for that negative energy, for that or whatever it may be, is what makes it real. It ain't the person. It ain't the situation. It ain't nothing outside of you. If you hold a spot for these entities, then they will feel that spot. Okay? So this is the time right now to practice for an uncertain situation, because with everybody repeating everything everybody say about how things are going to happen in this now, future, or whatever it may be, then of course the collective is going to create all of this. Okay? So that's just the way it's going to be. All right? And so you or me have to live amongst different realities with people. Make sure that your house is in order. And I'm not talking about just your immediate house with all of the stacking of the foods and getting everything that you need to all this type of stuff. Make sure your house is in order in here. Okay? All 12 of your houses, if you can. All right? But this is what I wanted to say, because I already can see a lot of people who think that, you know, healing or you fasting or whatever may be has something to do with other people. It has nothing to do with that. This is all for you. This is all to show your strength. This is all for you to build that courage, for you to build that intuition, for you to build that knowledge, for you to gain that connection with your spiritual guides, for you to know them by name, for you to know different lifespans that you've been through and have conquered, for you to know what you're built for. Okay? Because all of us have a special seat and a special purpose and plan for our lives concerning the now. Okay? That's what we are being prepared for a now. All right? So I just wanted to come on here and say that or whatever, because a lot of people I know are a little off to me when it comes to them understanding why things are supposed to be practiced or supposed to be becoming a way of life or something that you can migrate or merge off into, adapt to when it's time. Okay, that is the reason why. So before things get better, it's possible that in a lot of people's lives that things will get worse. All right. And the body and the mind is the main thing that needs to be grounded while you go through these things. All right. So thank you guys for listening to my video. And I hope that you guys take my advice, you know, to deal with whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that you need to deal with. Because when them lights go off, you can't see even past your front. If the moon, what light that the moon give, you're not even going to see past your porch. So you want to make sure that you are, I don't know, whatever you got to do. There's so many things that you have to make sure that you are. You know what I'm saying? Forgiven, that you are in a whole different mind state, that you are prepared, you know, mentally, because a lot of people are going to have some mental issues when the lights go off. You get what I'm saying? You are living in an uncertain world. Okay? That's why no one can be perfect in an imperfect world. You here for a mighty, mighty, mighty big reason other than living in this 3D and whatever the hell you call happiness or contentment. Okay? You're going to see what you are really here for. And it's better now to prepare for the bigger plan right now with your small intuitives or whatever it may be. I don't know how to really say it, but get your shit together, okay? Ashe.